A big shout out to the moon, and I hope you had a very good Thanksgiving because I did.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul
They're gonna
Brother.
run out of
Check it
cheese
out
heads
now.
soon!
The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now. About now. About now. About now.
What is poppin', y'all? It's your man Clubboy Bales, and welcome to another episode of Wisco Sports. Well, Packers, they managed to pull off the big upset. Now, Detroit, they're known for losing on Thanksgiving. Everyone talks about it. Death, taxes, and the Detroit Lions losing on Thanksgiving is just pretty much the three Trinity things. That's just pretty much the Trinity of all Thanksgivings. And when you think about it, a lot of people, including myself, were thinking there's no way the Packers are going to go into Detroit and get the victory. I think a lot of people can attest to that. Now, a lot of me should really think about this and think, okay, you know what? I should stop doubting them. It's not really what I mean. I shouldn't doubt a team, depending on something could happen down the line. You know what? They could turn out to be, doing exactly what they just did yesterday and shock me. But, it turns out it made my Thanksgiving a whole lot better. I think missing all those people this year, no Aaron Jones, no Jair Alexander, no Darnell Savage, no Rudy Ford, no Devondre Campbell. Um, the amount of people that were out in this game, it was outstanding. The fact that somehow, some way, and Musgrave too, somehow, some way, we were able to get the victory. And I guess they just probably, this is exactly what happens. I mean, I think everyone just doubted, oh, we're the Packers. I mean, like, we're bad this year. People probably thought that. The Lions were 8-2. I mean, that has not happened in some time. The Lions are the front runners to win the division. I mean, now, it's going to be a very tight race, I think, between maybe Detroit and Minnesota. I think Green Bay still is not considered. I don't think they're considerably trying to get the division right now. I think because of this game we have the tiebreaker, but um, you know, I feel like at this point anything could really happen with this Packers team. I mean, 3 weeks ago, I was out here saying, you know what, it's better. I think this team is not ready. I think it's best if they tank because I just think of it. But then these last couple weeks, I've noticed so much improvements with this team. Now, they win against the Rams, and that really wasn't that much of a win because the Rams just suck and they don't have any. That was just an easy win. There was no reason why you would lose that game. Then you almost beat Pittsburgh, but I get it yet again. I'm not going to be criticizing them because Pittsburgh's known for their defense, not their offense. And I feel like looking back at it, yeah, we could have. If it was in Green Bay, we would have beat them for sure. And then we beat the Chargers, and now we go into Detroit and beat one of the best teams in the league. Now it's starting to make me think, oh, is Detroit even that legit? I don't know. I mean, we have a whole season ahead. There's still plenty of weeks ahead to find out what's going to happen. And that's what's crazy about it. I don't know. But we have there's even a game today. There's lots of games on Sunday and a game on Monday to kind of determine what happens. So, but you know what? This team a couple weeks ago was right now was the number 6 overall pick. 2 weeks later, they were the first team in the hunt right now. I don't know how that's even possible, but it is. Going over the stats on today's game, Jordan Love, I will say, yeah, let's give him the game ball. Jordan Love went 22 of 32, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was not sacked once yesterday, and 3 carries for 39 yards. A.J. Dillon on the ground had 14 carries for 43 yards and 3 catches for 38. Great day for him. Not much from everyone else. Christian Watson led the day. 5 catches for 94 yards and a touchdown. His first big reception. He's been so quiet all year, and this was his first big game. I feel like he needed something to go on with them, and I think that's what you just needed to see. Bleak Heath also had a career high, 4 catches, 46 yards, 3 catches for 37 for Dobbs, 4 catches for 34, and a touchdown for Jaden Reed, and 2 catches for 15 yards, and his first career touchdown for Tucker Kraft, who's pretty much taking over for injured Luke Musgrave for the next couple of weeks. Not much from everyone else, but Jonathan Owens had a huge day, 12 tackles, obviously leading the team in tackles, and a touchdown for him, defensive touchdown that was forced fumble by Rashawn Gary. Obviously, I'll get to him later. Isaiah McDuffie on the linebacker had 11 tackles. He really filled in well for Devondre Campbell, who was injured. I think McDuffie's been having a great season. I mean, he's been doing exactly what you need to do for an injured player. I guess that is exactly what you need to do. Our secondary, it was tough to hold up against a Detroit team that is very well with an offensive line and a pass cover. I'm not too mad. Our secondary is doing what we could do, and I think that's fantastic. 3 sacks on the day for Rashawn Gary. 2 of them were forced fumbles. One of those returned by a touchdown for Jonathan Owens. The other sack was made by Carl Brooks. Also had another strip sack, and he got a fumble himself. It's crazy to me that, this team is pretty much... Rashawn Gary is the stud of this defense. I remember when we drafted him, and I was like, this might be the worst first-round draft pick ever because we didn't need an edge rusher. And then, boom, look what happened. He turned out, he's the best player on our defense. It turned out to be a great pick. I'm happy. And we signed him for an extension for not even that much. And, I get it because he was injured a lot of those times. But when he's healthy, this man is a monster. He can't be beat. And that's what's crazy. What's also crazy to me is that the people that are contributing the most on this team are these new people, these free agents and these rookies. They're really contributing. First you got Carl Brooks, who already, even though he gets limited snaps, he has 3 sacks on the season. He has a couple fumbles and forced fumble. I'm like, this guy maybe should be starting. I know we have Wyatt and Slayton and Clark up at the defensive front, but maybe you should get him in there more. Lucas Van Ness is barely getting any playing time because of the amount of depth that we have in this defensive front. We literally have 2 7th-round picks starting in the secondary, Anthony Johnson and Corey Carrington-Valentine. And then these receivers, we got Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, and Jaden Reed's turning out to be like an unbelievable draft pick. He's our leading receiver this year. That is absolutely outstanding that these rookies are really contributing for this team. And there's a lot to look forward to. I get that this secondary wasn't doing much. We allowed 322 passing yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 catches, 95 yards. Khalid Raymond, 5 for 90. Jameson Williams, 2 for 51. Sam Laporta, 5 for 47 and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 4 for 19. Josh Reynolds, 2 for 15 and a touchdown. The other touchdown was by David Montgomery. He had 15 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs had 11 for 54. And Jared Goff on the day went 29 on 44, 332 yards and 2 touchdowns, sacked all 3 times. lost 3 fumbles, of course, and sacked all 3 times by Rashawn Gary. Brian Branch led the day with 8 total tackles. You know, I'm sorry I didn't get over the Lions stats, but you know what? 2 wins in the same week for the Packers has got to be an achievement. I mean, the fact that literally last week I was talking about we should just tank because it might be better for the Packers to get maybe a top lineman. But now looking at this team, I'm thinking that if they keep this motivation, they keep this motivation, like they could dominate. I think they can. The aggressive play calling that we saw this time around, maybe we could see more of that out of LaFleur. I feel like we've seen a lot of reserved stuff, but maybe if he showed some aggressiveness, like Dan Campbell does with the Lions, we could see some things. We were not penalized, which was great. The pass rush was phenomenal. The blocking was phenomenal. Love has great accuracy. When we play like that, you're guaranteed to win these games. I mean, that bad stretch, where Love wasn't doing anything, it was tough to really watch all that. Seeing this is going to make Love more confident. And I think that's exactly what you want to see. The only thing that was bad about this entire game was Jack Harlow's halftime show. I mean, let's be real. I am so happy that we got them ourselves in this spot. Now, we have a whole week. We have about 9 days to rest up because we're at home next week. And unfortunately, we have to welcome in the Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is going to be in Lambeau for the very first time in his career. It's going to be a very great game. Who knows if Taylor Swift will be in attendance? We don't know that. But I am very, very excited for this one because I think this is a game that the Packers know if they beat the Chiefs, we'll be 500. And I think that with the rest of our schedule, I mean, we got the Giants, the Panthers, the Buccaneers, the Bears, a lot of those games coming up, even the Vikings, who are known to, I think that Dobbs I think Dobbs might choke later on. I'm not going to lie, I think that might be the case with him. I don't know. But with our remaining schedule, if we beat the Chiefs, I mean, we could blow out of the water and honestly try for the playoffs. It's actually possible with this team. If they really put themselves together, I think anything is possible. I believe in that. I mean, it's crazy enough to say that. A team that I thought wasn't even worthy of it. But if they make the playoffs, now I'm not going to say they'll win the first round, but if they make the playoffs, I think that will be great motivation going into the future of this organization. And that said. So if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts, and we will see you next time. Go Pack Go, and I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving.